We pick up a great lead. The opponent safe switches into Swampert. We answer with Blaziken, type an advantage with the Mud Boy. Both water and ground hit Blaziken for super effective. However, Shadow Counter going to tear through Swampert. We farm up to the Brave Bird and there's no baits on this channel, but does the opponent respect the damage? So, welcome back to home of Shadow Pokemon. Today we are going to be taking our first look at the Ultra League Weather Cup, and we are going to be featuring a fairly new Shadow Pokemon, Shadow Blaziken. This meta is absolutely full of things that are weak to counter top meta threats such as both the Regice, Ice and Rock, alolan Sandslash, Abomasnow and the Big Fat Walrus are all heavily weak to counter. There's only 3 counter users in the meta, one being Blaziken, the other being Sudowodo and Lycanroc. However, both Sudowodo and Lycanroc are both rock types, they aren't getting same type attack bonus. So Blaziken is the go-to counter user, and especially Shadow. You can see in battle number 1, our Shadow counters have tore through this opponent and they've already conceded. So getting into the commentary in battle number 2, our alolan Sandslash picked up the dream lead against Abomasnow due to our Ice. Steel typing, we resist the full moveset. The opponent safe switched into Keldeo and we answered with Kingdra. The featured battler today, AspecimenUnkmowm, huge shout out to him, fired off the Octazooka. We drew a shield, we got the attack drop, unfortunately we can't farm down, the opponent survived. On 1 HP and a dream, we bring in Sandslash. We are going to have to respect the potential Sacred Sword or close combat as we take double super effective from fighting. We have lost switch, however the opponent has Kingdra in the back, so they're absolutely core broken by this alolan Sandslash. And if they think this matchup's bad, wait until we get Blaziken on that Abomasnow. The opponent commits a shield, Sandslash already at the neutral Ice Punch. Number 2, the opponent is all shields down, that lands. Getting the opponent Shadow Kingdra into the red, there's no need to shield this up. Octazooka isn't going to knock out, however they do debuff us, so we are going to be forced to dump energy. Ice Punch, even debuffed, is going to secure the knockout. And I'm going to estimate in 3, 2, 1, the opponent concedes, and we're 2 for 2 on top left. Moving on to the next one. Neutral lead, alolan Sandslash into Jellicent. Despite our legacy Shadow Claws hitting 4 super effective, our charge move that can hit him 4 neutral is Bulldoze, and my god is Bulldoze terrible. AspecimenUnkmowm correctly shields up the Shadow Wall, is going to return fire with the Bulldoze. Bulldoze really not going to do the job, unfortunately doesn't do a lot, however the Shadow Claws are really ripping through the opponent. AspecimenUnkmowm fires off the Ice Punch, looking to draw a shield off this Jelly. The opponent does commit a shield. We're going to easily survive a Shadow Ball. Unless the opponent pivots, we'll easily be able to farm down. The opponent brings in Cradily and we answer with Kingdra. I'd have loved to have seen Blaziken lined up here, however Kingdra is fairly neutral. Due to our Dragon, Water type and the Grass type attacks only hit for neutral. AspecimenUnkmowm tank the Grass, not return fire with the Outrage. The opponent didn't respect it. We then Dragon Breath down. The opponent's got Abomasnow in the back and again Blaziken about to go off. AspecimenUnkmowm sends out Sandslash. The opponent is going to have to Energy Ball to take us out. The opponent goes for the double resisted Weather Ball. Sandslash far too thick for that nonsense. We actually make the Ice Punch. The opponent commits that final shield and this is game over. We send out Blaziken. We're super glassy, but we do resist absolutely everything. The opponent is going to bring back in the Jellyfish and it is game over. And you can see, yet again, the opponent has conceded the match. GG's and thanks for playing, trainer. Ultra League, usually the bulkiest league of them all, but I think this is going to be the quickest Ultra League video I've ever done. In the next battle, we lead Sandslash into Kingdra. The opponent is staying in, which is pretty interesting because this is not a good matchup for Kingdra. The opponent tanked the Ice Punch. They let us get to Ice Punch number 2. This is almost going to knock out, so possibly force a shield. The opponent does shield. AspecimenUnkmowm can tank absolutely anything, but he is going to commit a shield. Realising that his Sandslash is going to be useful somewhere in the end game, the opponent pivots out into Pelipper, and holy smokes, we send out Blaziken. And Blaziken, after absolutely steamrolling, the first 3 opponents is now been sacrificed to the Pokegods. That can only be known as a misclick. We've all been there. However, let's see if AspecimenUnkmowm can recover. We are going to shield up a potential Hurricane. And what the heck? The opponent YOLOs the Blizzard. What is going on in this battle? Holy cow, did that catch me by surprise. Back out comes Jellicent. AspecimenUnkmowm goes for the bait. The opponent shields the bait and they get debuffed. AspecimenUnkmowm, clearly the best master baiter the world has ever seen. The opponent resets their debuff, sending out Kingdra. We farm it down. We've got the Outrage locked and loaded. It does big damage to the unshielded Jellicent. The opponent gonna fire off a charge move. Sandslash hangs on minimal HP. We make the Ice Punch. This isn't gonna knock out. However, it is gonna get the Jelly really low there, 3 hexes away from the next Shadow Ball, and we manage to Dragon Breath down. Speaking of the last battle, funny story. I actually once forgot to check my movesets when I was playing factions for the Home Slice homies. Shout out to the homies. I ran Pelipper with Hydro Pump. I YOLO'd the Hydro Pump and knocked out and managed to flip switch. However, getting into this battle, a AspecimenUnkmowm gets a taste of his own medicine. His Blaziken gets baited by an Icicle Sphere. Back out comes the Charizard. A AspecimenUnkmowm now going for a bait in return. The opponent does shield up. Can we make the Brave Bird? I think we're going to get farmed down. We die almost at the move. So we could have got some chip damage. With the Blaze Kick, we send out Kingdra. The opponent fired the charge move immediately. They fire the Blast Burn. Kingdra now tanks that. We switch out into Sandslash. This is enough for another Blast Burn. A AspecimenUnkmowm calls the bait, and this time there's no bait. Holy smokes. Double super effective Blast Burn, enough to kill Sandslash and all its relatives. A AspecimenUnkmowm now putting all his faith in Kingdra. We shield up the Dragon Claw. It's Swampert in the back. Even an Octazooka debuff isn't going to save us because Earthquake's still going to do a lot of damage. We don't get the debuff, and this Earthquake is going to vanquish us. Back to our Pokeball. You can't win them all. GG's to the opponent. Moving on to the next battle, a great lead. Sandslash into Abomasnow. The opponent safe switches into Swampert, and we answer with Blaziken. Blaziken doesn't have the typing advantage. This Mud Boy can hit us for super effective. It's water and ground type attacks. The AspecimenUnkmowm shields up the Hydro Cannon and goes straight for the Brave Bird. Does the opponent respect the damage? Swampert does draw a shield. A AspecimenUnkmowm in a really tricky spot. Kingdra would have definitely been the better safe switch. He allows himself to go down. We come into Kingdra. We are going to be able to Dragon Breath down before an Earthquake. This is double resisted. Hydro Cannon for once, looking like a dreadful move. I imagine the opponent is going to send out Abomasnow because they've got a fairly decent matchup here and they want to avoid the Sandslash. A AspecimenUnkmowm makes a savage catch, catching the charge move on his alolan Sandslash. The double resisted Weather Ball does absolutely nothing. The opponent's final Pokemon is Charizard, and this is the bait game. We're hitting for neutral the entire time. The opponent needs to land the Blast Burn. They farm up to it. A AspecimenUnkmowm looking to call the bait, and the opponent does bait. Huge Gahonas play there. We return fire with the next Ice Punch. The opponent commits that shield, and this should be game over. You've just got to allow Sandslash to go down. A AspecimenUnkmowm recognise it, and the opponent again fires off the Dragon Claw. We snipe with Kingdra, and Abomasnow is about to eat an Outrage to the face. Hi Abomasnow, bye Abomasnow. GG's, and thanks for playing. Another impressive dub chalked up on the board. Moving on to the next battle, you can see Kingdra has been replaced by Cradily. I've actually got my Shadow Cradily to level 50 after 18 months of trying to walk the stupid thing. So we might be seeing that in a video later in the week. And in this battle, Cradily absolutely going to dominate Jellicent. Jellicent fires off the Shadow Ball, and Cradily tanks that like an absolute boss. A AspecimenUnkmowm goes for the undercharge on the next Grass Knot. The opponent commits a shield, looking to flip switch. However, a AspecimenUnkmowm can easily shield this up. And then we are going to be able to farm down and leave with a whole heap of residual energy. Good to go. This should only be a Surf. Surf not going to knock out. If they send back out Abomasnow, we've got the Stone Edge locked and loaded. I believe that's a Poliwrath that come in, and we fire off the Stone Edge. No! Poliwrath tanks that like a boss. However, we still make the Grass Knot. It would have been huge to throw back-to-back Grass Knots at this Poliwrath. However, we still draw a shield. We now pivot out into Blaziken, and these counters are doing huge damage. A AspecimenUnkmowm commits the final shield of the battle. We fire off the Blaze Kick. I doubt this KOs, even from an attack-weighted Pokemon. Poliwrath pretty thick. They do survive, and they make the Scald on 1 HP and a Dream. So I think perhaps trying to counter down would have been the correct play. However, this should still be game over. Back out comes Abomasnow. The opponent should be top left in. So a AspecimenUnkmowm going for the BM Bulldoze. Bulldoze going to do absolutely nothing. However, likewise, Abomasnow can do absolutely nothing to us. Energy Ball, a pretty good move. However, we're going to tank that no problem whatsoever. We're now going for the correct move of Ice Punch, as this is neutral. Whereas obviously Bulldoze, that doesn't get stabbed, is resisted due to Abomasnow's grass typing. Abomasnow gonna fire off another energy ball. We easily survive. We make the ice punch, and this is now gonna be all she wrote. I think Poliwrath's alive on 1 HP and a dream, but it looks like the opponent has forced closed the app. Ice punch does knock out. We can either Shadow Claw down or Bullet Seed down. Let's see what a Specimen Unknown opts for. Eventually Poliwrath comes in and the Bullet Seed is all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we actually see an opponent running Blaziken. This is dreadful. We save switch into our own Blaziken and the opponent answers with Kingdra, a Specimen Unknown, charging up to the Brave Bird and going for the Blaze Kick bait. Let's see how big the opponent's Gohonas are. They shield the bait, then opt to throw the Octazooka. We're actually shielding. Do we make the Brave Bird? I don't know. Let's find out. We're looking to reach the Brave Bird and we do get there on minimal HP. Is the opponent willing to commit that final shield? Yes, they are. I think this is actually pretty good for us. We should send out Sandslash, Shadow Claw down and get the Bulldoze ready. However, we send out Cradily. Yeah, this could work, I suppose. We can YOLO a few Stone Edge at it. We correctly shield up the Outrage. We need to Bullet Seed down. No, we throw energy. I think we have to commit to the farm down here, because one Stone Edge isn't going to be enough to knock out the opponent. Sends out their own Cradily. We send out Sandslash. The opponent is going to be able to outpace us to the Blaze Kick, and I think we're just absolutely done for. I think this battle was pretty winnable, to be honest. I think we probably should have come out with Sandslash, just Shadow Claw down the Kingdra, because then if they would have sent out the Cradily, we could have hit him for super effective with the Ice Puncher. They sent out Blaziken. We could have fired off the Bulldoze. Even when we sent out Cradily, I don't think that was the worst play in the world. We had to commit to a Bullet Seed farm down. Moving on to the next one. Sandslash into Swampert, not a particularly good lead. The opponent farming up to what could be an Earthquake, and that is absolutely going to one-shot our little Hedgehog. We look to catch the Earthquake on Cradily. The opponent answers with a Dragon Tail Gary. Interesting. This is not a good matchup for you, Gary. We fire off the Stone Edge. The opponent commits a shield. However, they can throw whatever they like, and Cradily is really, really bulky. The opponent gets the Crunch debuff, but no debuff is going to save this Gyarados. We're already at the next Stone Edge. The opponent lets it go, so they've committed a shield and lost switch. Not really the position they want to be in. They send out Swampert. We're just going to allow Cradily to go down. This Swampert is now a lot more manageable with shield advantage, as Specimen Unknown commits a shield on the Hydro Cannon. It is CMP, this Ice Punch. Not going to be enough to knock out, but is going to get Swampert super low. The opponent commits that final shield. Hydro Cannon isn't going to knock out. Sandslash is going to tank it. The opponent pivots out into Kingdra. I think I would have banked the Ice Punch for the end game, but I think we should be pretty good here. Either way, Dragon Breath going to start tearing through us. We do shield up the Octazooka. We're looking to farm up to the back-to-back Blaze Kicks. I don't think Blaze Kick's going to knock out. It's going to be close. Blaze Kick doesn't knock out. However, they are on 1 HP. We're going to get the Shadow Claw we needed to reach the move. We've got the Ice Punch locked and loaded. And that actually is a very, very well played endgame. GG's and thanks for playing. So those were the battles with Shadow Blaziken. This video is less than 14 minutes long. And I think we had like 9 battles, which is absolutely insane in the Ultra League. Huge shout out to a Specimen Unknown for the battle submission. If you'd like your battles featured on my channel, a link to my battle submission form is down below. If you enjoy my content, please consider leaving a like and a comment. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.